and welcome to The Zest, the official podcast of Orange Coast Magazine. I'm Chelsea Ranieri, and today's guest is the founder of It's a Playdate, an empowering community where women come together to build real friendships through sports and community events such as Pilates, hiking, basketball, and more. She was also featured in our May issue. Thank you so much for being here today, Hannah Akamine.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is so exciting. I'm a little nervous.
It's going to be so fun. And I would love to give some backstory for our listeners that you and I share a mutual friend, Daniel, who is
shout out Daniel.
But I've been following It's a Playdate for so long, and I am just in awe with everything you've created, from the community and the different events that you have to your gorgeous content and your freaking adorable merch that I DM you about all the time.
Yeah.
So I am so excited to share your community with our listeners.
Yeah, so excited. Thank you so much for having me and giving us this platform. I love talking about my girlies. I love talking about Playdates. So I'm so excited.
Yay. Okay. Well, to start, I read in an interview that you, sports and fitness has always been kind of a big part of your life. So what sports did you fall in love with first and why?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. I feel like I played sports my entire life. I started playing basketball when I was probably like first grade up until high school, was in love with it. So much fun. I made so many friends. And then I did play travel soccer, like middle school to high school. So that took up a huge chunk of my life for so long. Very intense, a lot of traveling, a lot of work went into that. But yeah, it's just, I feel like sports have always been kind of a part of my life. My dad grew up playing sports. My mom's very active. So it was kind of just a given that I was going to do something in sports for my life. But yeah, mainly just like soccer and basketball to start.
I love that. My sister was the athlete in our family, but I remember going to the games and she would play soccer, and like the community, the feeling that was there was so fun, and like going to the snack bar and like just all these kids and families running around. So great.
100%.
Well, what did being part of a team teach you?
Oh my God. Yeah. I think, well, I went to a very small middle school. I grew up in Pennsylvania. So I went to a very small middle school. I had like 15, 16 people in my graduating 8th grade class. So we were all best friends. It was crazy. But just like playing sports with them throughout growing up and like adolescence, teenage years, and you just become, we were already so close, but then getting to like leave class early and go to a game together and go to tournaments, it was just a very bonding experience. And just creating those female relationships, especially for like basketball, soccer, whatever, it's just very impactful, and it trickles over into everyday life. Like you're seeing these people multiple times a week, you're traveling with these people, so you kind of have to be close to them. But yeah, from a younger age, I think I really valued female relationships in my life and like the importance of it, and obviously to being successful like on the field versus just like having that chemistry off the field and being able to hang out and have sleepovers with these people and like just be girly together. So I think it was definitely really impactful.
What a cool experience. I'm literally like picturing Gilmore Girls. That sounds so fun to have such a small class. Well, what brought you out to Orange County?
Yeah, so I went to college out here. I went to Vanguard University in Costa Mesa. So I knew I wanted to leave Pennsylvania. So I just applied to Vanguard. My parents went to Vanguard, so that's how I knew about it. And ever since then, I just have stayed. It's hard to leave. Once you're here, the weather is perfect. The people are cool. There's so much good food, so much to do. So I've just fell in love with Orange County. So now I'm here. I don't know how long, but I just can't imagine being anywhere else. Yeah.
I love that. So did you start working at Oak and Cole when you were at Vanguard?
Yes. Okay. So my junior year of college, I knew I was going to be graduating soon. I knew I needed to start paying rent, all the things. I literally just went on Yelp and typed in Japanese restaurants, Costa Mesa, and Oak and Cole popped up. And I'm like, okay, let me just apply. I applied. I got interviewed. Now I've been there for 2.5 years and I work with some of my best friends. So it's so fun.
Everyone that works here is so cool. I interviewed Jeff as one of my first people.
I saw that.
Like, I was like, who's not going to make me nervous? And so I think Jeff. But that seems like such a cool environment. Like everyone that works there is so fun.
It's so fun. It's honestly, it's so corny, but I love going to work because I just love them. Like it's just a good time. I am the only girl, which is tough, but that's why I love Playdate. I'm the only, there's one other girl, she's leaving soon though, sad face, but that's why I love Playdate, because I have my girly outlet and then I go to work and it's just boy city, which is great, love them, but it's nice to like girl out sometimes.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so you majored in tech and emerging media, which sounds like such an interesting major. But how has that come in handy as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, it sounds a lot tougher than it was. It's literally just social media 101, which was not that tricky for me. But it really has helped, like just learning like the interfaces, how to edit videos, how to do like Canva, Photoshop, stuff like that. I think I've always known that I was wanting to lean into like a more creative field. I've always liked making videos. I have a really cringy YouTube channel that I was posting on in high school. So don't look my name up on YouTube. It's not going to be pretty. But yeah, I've always been really interested in like doing creative stuff and like making content. So I think it's really helped build Playdate because at the end of the day, I feel like it's really all about marketing and how like you portray your group or yourself and like what you're doing. And if you can kind of dress it up in a cool, interesting way that really caters to your audience, I think it's so much more enticing. So at the end of the day, we're just playing kickball. So it's like how sexy can we make kickball look? So I feel like that has really helped. And yeah, I think it's just a culmination of that creativity and the social media aspect coming into play with growing Playdate, which has been helpful.
That's so nice. I can totally see that shows in your content because it's always so beautiful. I'm like obsessed with that photo that you have with the phone is so cute. But they didn't have, I don't think that they had majors like that when I was in college like 10 years ago, but that's such a nice skill to have. But okay, so when you graduated and moved off campus, you mentioned that you started to really miss that sense of community. So what was that transition like for you?
It was tough. I think it was pretty early on that I realized like, oh my God, how do you make friends? Like, where do you meet people outside of just like school or classes or like campus events and stuff like that? It's so hard to meet people like in your same age group that have similar interests, that like to do the same things, that want to go hang out and do what you want to do. It was nice. I have that community at work that I was making friends through there, but it's also different. Like it's different to lose that like built-in target demographic of friends that you would want to make. So I think the transition was a little bit tough in the first couple of months of just being like, I obviously have my friends that I've made in school and outside of school, whatever, but it's like, how do you meet new people? Like, where are they? Where is everybody? Costa Mesa is so big and it's like, where's everybody going? I need to be there. So it definitely was a tough transition. And really quickly, I was like, okay, also everyone's having the same experience. I feel like every girl that I talk to is like, how are we meeting friends? Like, how are we making friends in our early 20s, early 30s, whatever? Like, it's tough. And I think it's an experience that we all shared together.
100%. That's literally so relatable. One of my friends that I made I'm in my 30s, like a few years ago. Kiana, she's Kiki Simple on Instagram. I like say that I like stalked her on Instagram and would go to her events. And, like I bought stuff from her. And then one day I was like, do you want to get a drink?
Dude, and then, that's,
It was so funny though, because like it was like me and my husband and then her and her boyfriend going to get a drink. And I was asking my husband, I was like, is this like weird? Like, I don't know. I've never done this before. And he's like, no, we're just going to go meet your internet friend. That's totally normal.
Yeah.
Normal. But now we're all really close. So it's scary to ask someone that. It feels like you're asking someone on a date. Like,
I know it's awkward. It's weird. Yeah.
It's
no,
hard.
I totally feel that. That's how I met my now roommate / one of my best friends, Elter. We knew each other on social media, just like this parasocial relationship. I feel like we're best friends. We're commenting on all of each other's stuff. And then I literally slid into her DMs and I was like, hey, we should get a drink. And then now we live together. So it does work. It does work.
I love that. Well, how did you come up with the idea for It's a Playdate?
Yeah. So basically, stemmed out of that need for like community, obviously. Me and my friend that I went to college with, we both grew up playing sports, mainly soccer. And we were going to hang out one day and we're like, oh, we should just go kick a soccer ball around, which we did all the time. And I'm like, that would be awesome to have other girls come out and like come meet us and like play pickup soccer. And then I'm like, no, why do we not do that? Like, why don't girls play pickup sports really? I feel like it's so easy for guys. I don't know what it is about them, but it's so easy for them to just like grab a ball and go to a field and then they make 15 new friends with these guys that just come out and like play with them randomly. But I feel like it's tougher for girls to do that, and / weren't really encouraged to do that at all growing up. So I made a post on Instagram, just like trying to test the waters. Like, would anybody would even be interested in this and coming out and doing like pickup sports once a week, whatever. And surprisingly, it got pretty good engagement. A lot of girls were saying, yeah, like I've been looking for something like this. Like I've been wanting to do this. And I'm like, that's crazy. That's awesome. Like come out. So our first event had like over 30 people. I was shocked. I did not expect that many people to come play soccer.
Yeah.
Nobody knew how to play, which is okay because we weren't keeping score. It was just to like get out and get active and meet people. So the idea just came from a need that me and my friend felt, and then realizing that so many other people like desired the same thing. So started very grassroots randomly. We just wanted to play soccer.
Wow. And so since then, as I mentioned in the intro, you've hosted events with Pilates, walks, yoga, basketball, pickleball. So how do you come up with new event ideas?
Yeah. The thing I love about Playdate, we're so flexible, which maybe in the long run will need more structure eventually, I'm sure. But it's so fun because it's really just like based off of community interest. If girls are DMing me or responding to polls saying, let's do pickleball, we'll try to do a pickleball event for them. If there's brands that reach out and want to do certain events, we'll make it happen, try to do an event that they're asking for. If there's a day that me and my homegirls want to go play dodgeball event. So that's the fun thing about Playdate. I feel like it is pretty community driven of kind of what the interest is at the moment. And we also do events. We kind of drop them like once a week. There's no like build up, which is surprise, we're doing Pilates, surprise, we're doing pickleball, whatever. So I think that it does also kind of keep people engaged and interested, like, oh, what's the next event going to be? So it's pretty random. It's pretty just driven by our girls.
That's so cool. Well, I saw you posted an event. It was like a big grass area. I think it might have been yoga, but it was like 300 people or something came out.
Oh, I wish. That sounds amazing. We'll keep that narrative. There was 100 girls, which was awesome. 100. But for the sake of this, 300, over 400 girls were there. But yeah, it was crazy. It was our birthday. It was insane. Like looking out, I'm like, how I didn't even know this many people existed in the world, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. It was our birthday celebration, our 1 year, and we just did like a free park yoga event to celebrate, and we had like over 100 people come out. We did get shut down by the park ranger for sound. Yeah, we had to turn off our like speaker system, but we just kept doing yoga with it, and the instructor kind of was just projecting, but it was awesome. But it was crazy, that many people. That's the biggest event we've done so far. So it was very surreal for sure.
What an amazing feeling that must have been. But can you share some of your other favorite memories that you've had with It's a Playdate?
Oh my God, so many. Some of my favorites, I think one of my most favorites, I was talking to one of our girlies that came to our yoga sculpt event, and I try to make it a goal to talk to at least like 3 or 4 people and like actually sit down and have a conversation and get to know the community. So I sat down with one of the girls, and she was like, yeah, like I'm so excited I got into this event. It's so hard to get into events, which is great. We sell out so fast. It's tough for girls to get in, which is amazing. But also like, I wish we could have more girls coming more frequently. It's just depending on capacity, whatever. But she was like, yeah, I set my alarm to be here. And I literally was on my phone refreshing, trying to get into the event. And then I texted my group chat with the other Playdate girls and to see if they got in. And I'm like, your group chat? She was like, yeah, like I met these girls at a couple other events, and now we hang out and we have a group chat. And whenever there's an event posted, we all text each other to see if we got in. And it was just like crazy to think that our mission is obviously working, and like these people made friends that they're texting and hanging out with outside of Playdate, and outside of being at events, they're thinking about the community, they're thinking about Playdate, and like setting an alarm to come to an event is bizarre. I don't know. That just blows me away every single time. So that was very surreal, and I think it really brought me back down to like the purpose of what we do and like why I started this, because it's hard. It's hard to like stay present when you're facilitating events and doing all this coordinating and all this work in the back end, and to be there and be able to like sit down and talk to the people that you're trying to serve it's so grounding. So I think that was probably one of my favorite moments for sure.
Oh, I would have started crying. That's so nice.
I almost did.
Yeah, yeah. Is there anything else that surprised you about the community that you've built?
Yeah. Ooh, surprised me. I think, okay, so there's this TikTok going around for a while, and it was like, I've never had an original experience in my life.
Yeah,
And it's funny because, yeah, I feel like just growing up, especially, you just feel like you're so isolated in your own experiences and like no one else knows what I'm going through. Like I'm alone in this. But I think from starting Playdate and creating a community for girls that share so much of similar interests and like similar journeys of just growing up and in your 20s in Southern California, it's like, it's true. I've literally never had an original experience, and everything that I desired, like, and the reasons that I created Playdate are the same reasons that the girls come to Playdate. Like everyone just wants connection. Everyone wants to make new friends, be active, be in spaces that don't necessarily involve drinking or eating, and
yeah.
just like tap back into that, like nurturing that inner child. I feel like there's something so like pure and like, I don't know, like sweet about just bonding with a girl next to you in the line to kick at kickball. Like you don't get that
Yeah.
anymore. So I think it's nice to know that I'm not alone in those desires for connection or like coming back to childhood or nurturing that inner child. So I think that was
Yeah.
surprising and shocking in a really good way.
Totally. I love that so much. And my sister grew up playing soccer, like I mentioned, and now I want to bring her to
Yeah.
one of these because
Yes. Oh my God,
she
please.
misses it. But I was like trying to think of like where else I can have ever experienced that. And like the only other place I can think of is in line at like a bathroom bar at like midnight with
Yeah.
women.
Oh my God.
The
Yeah.
bonding. Yeah. That's like
That
the
is
only
my
place I
favorite.
could
That's my favorite place to be at all times. If you need an
Yes.
instant confidence boost, you go to a bathroom line in the with the girls' room. It's
Yeah.
you look so pretty. Oh my God, what lipstick are you wearing? I love that. And that's my favorite place ever.
One time someone told me that I look like Olivia Culpo, and I was like, what? And then my sister's
Very
like an
good.
ugly version. I was like, thanks for the help.
Please.
Yeah.
You're like, girl, I'll take what I can get. Please let me have this one.
Exactly. Well, you said that authenticity has been key to your success. So, what does staying authentic look like for you?
Yeah. I think that it's really just about staying true to the purpose and like the reason we started Playdate. I think it's really easy to get caught up in like the social media of it all and like the styled shoots and like the brands, and that is fun and it's exciting, and at the end of the day I'm learning, I'm trying to teach myself too and give myself grace in that is how you grow and that's how you build a business. And I'm
Mhm.
trying to lean more a little bit into that side of Playdate just to like get some more traction, whatever. But at the end of the day, it is just about staying rooted in our why we started Playdate, who we're working for, who we're creating this community for. So I think, I don't know, something that keeps me authentic again is sitting down with people at events and trying to have conversations and like following each other on Instagram and just chatting and getting to know people. So I think that does shine through, and I hope it does. That's the
Mhm.
goal at the end of the day. And I think I try to do a good job, and the girls in my inner circle that have helped me with Playdate, my little team, does a pretty good job of trying to stay connected to our community and not just be like, I just never want it to be like an event planning thing, you know? I want it to be like
Yeah.
a community. Like I want girls to come and feel like, oh yeah, I know Hannah. Like we chat every time I come to an event. I don't want it to be like who's Playdate, like who's behind this. So
Right.
I just try to keep it, I don't know, community based. So I think that's
Yeah.
what helps us to keep authentic.
Well, from an
Yeah.
outsider's perspective, everything that you post totally comes off as authentic and like warm and
Yay.
welcoming. Like I've never
Yay.
looked at it and thought as like, oh, this looks like scary. I don't know if I can. It feels very welcoming. But speaking of your content, how do you come up with these ideas? Because like all of your posts everything looks so professional. It is, and I just can't. I cannot fathom putting something like that together. So how do you come
Yeah.
up with those ideas, and how do you do it?
Oh my God. I don't even know. I mean, honestly, I live on Pinterest. So I think that's a
Ah,
pretty big help and source of inspiration. Um, I don't know. I think that I just have really cool friends that are down to shoot. We did like a kickball shoot to promote our kickball event. That's one of my favorite styled shoots that we've done so far. It helps that all my friends are drop dead gorgeous. So I have built in models all the time. But yeah, I don't know. I think it just depends on the event, and I try to think of something creative and that's my favorite part. Like, it's fun again to like, how can I make kickball sexy? So it is really fun to try to think outside the box of like, how can I promote this in a way that's more interesting than like a flyer that just says we're playing kickball. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it just depends. Sometimes inspiration hits, sometimes I'm struggling a little bit, but it does help to have a lot of creative people in my circle and a lot of friends that are down to help shoot at like, I'll text my friend. I'm in my friends' DMs right now, trying to get them together to shoot something this Sunday. So it helps that my friends are really down and supportive and down to help me with all that stuff.
Yeah. How quickly are you turning these over if you're doing an event each week?
It depends. Sometimes I'll do a little bit more content for an event if I'm trying to promote it a little bit more than others. It depends on how much time I have. It depends on my work schedule. So I'm really just trying to like work around all these little factors and kind of make time where I can. But yeah, no, I don't know. It just depends. But I try to get things out pretty quick.
Yeah. That sounds like a lot of hats to wear, but you do it with such grace. Well, I love how It's a Playdate celebrates being a girl's girl. So what does that mean to you?
Oh my God, yeah. I think a girl's girl is a woman that is just down to support other women and really uplift them and make that a very core value to themselves. And I just never think that women should be a point of contention in another woman's life. I think we deal with enough already. I don't think that my friends should be something that I'm struggling with or don't feel supported by or feel competition or jealous. And I don't know. I think a girl's girl is someone that's just very down to support other women and put them first and just be uplifting. And I don't know. I think it's not hard to be a girl's girl. I think at the end of the day, it's like all we have is each other. And the female friendships that I've made in my 24 years have been some of the most impactful relationships in my life ever. So I think being able to identify that and nurture those relationships is really important. And I don't know, I just feel better being a girl's girl. Like I want to do these things and I want to support my friends. And I have so many friends that are so supportive, and I wouldn't be able to do half of the things that I'm doing in Playdate without my girls. So
I love that. God, could not agree more. Well, are there any upcoming events or anything exciting you'd like to shout out for listeners? This episode will air in mid-September.
Okay. Mid-September. No, yeah. We are working on our second flag football event. Surprisingly, our last one did really well. I was not expecting that many girls to want to play flag football. So we're working on making it bigger and better and getting a nice big space to run around on and getting some sponsors involved. So if you're watching this, come to flag football. It's going to be really fun. It's tournament style. We'll have a really cool prize for the winning team. And I guess more details TBD.
I'm going to have fun. Well, for people who are listening that maybe don't get into the event, can people spectate?
Yeah, I'm thinking about opening up some like tickets for spectators so they can just come hang out as well. Cause it's just a fun vibe to be like under the lights on like a school night and get to see your friends run around and play football. So I think that would be fun to have girls just come watch too, even if they don't want to play.
That'd be so fun. Well, we are coming to the end of our time, but before I let you go, I have 3 final questions for you that we call the Thoughtful 3. So first, when you think of a true girl's girl in your life, who comes to mind and what have you learned from her?
Yeah. First of all, I love Thoughtful 3. That's so cute. I was reading the questions and I'm like, wait, I love that. That's such a good spin. I love. Okay. Girl's girl who comes to mind, honestly, probably my roommate, Elter. I've already talked about her. Love. I, again, would not be doing half the things I'm doing without her. She's so supportive. She has her own social media agency that she runs by herself.
Wow.
Boss girl for real. Shout out the bright side. And she is just so down to help me shoot these things, and she'll drop what she's doing to come help take photos or videos or help me with content, whatever. And again, just such a girl's girl. She supports my rights and wrongs. Love her to death. But yeah, probably her. I talk about her constantly and incessantly, but love her so much.
I love that. And I love her name. It's so pretty.
Right?
Well, how has building It's a Playdate changed the way that you think about connection and belonging?
Ooh. I think that, again, back to the whole never had an original experience. I think everybody at their core desires connection and finding a place where they feel like they are a part of or belong to or can find some sort of like membership at. So just being able to create that space, I think, is such a different point of view that I hadn't had before this. And just coming from somebody that wanted to find that space and wanted connection and belonging, being able to provide that space for people is such a trip all the time. So I think it really just changed my perspective on that, and being able to create that has been awesome. And then really being able to nurture those connections when I see them starting to form and really pouring into them. So it's been really, really life-changing for me, I think.
Yeah. No, you're literally doing the Lord's work. And then lastly, what impact do you hope It's a Playdate leaves on your community?
Yeah. Ooh. I want people to walk away from a Playdate event feeling empowered and stronger, maybe more fit, and feeling like they were seen. I don't want people to walk away being like, okay, like I just went to Pilates class and I'm going to go home now. Like I want them to feel like, oh my God, like the girls were so nice. Like I met Hannah, she was really cool. I talked to the girl on the reformer next to me. She was so sweet. Like I just want people to walk away feeling like, yeah, they were seen and acknowledged and their presence was validated and affirmed. I feel like we all go through our lives so individually, and it's super easy to just go through it. There's days I'll go through a day and I'm like, did I talk to anybody today? Like, did I have a meaningful interaction? Like, so I think it is important to create that space for people to enter a space and feel like, wow, I just really made a cool friendship, a cool connection. So I'd want people to leave feeling seen, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much. Well, this flew by. So thank you.
I know, it's sad.
Yeah. I had so much fun talking with you, and I will 100% be at the next Pilates one.
Yay. Okay, good. Let me know. So exciting.